vomit. Whoa. All right, welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray for a full show tonight. Full shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. We are back. I'm back as well, and we'll react to everything from the weekend that was. And, of course, with you at 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube. I already see the crew in there all ready to go. Einbein, Tom G, Cold Cuts. I see Hammerstein in there. Everybody's already in the chat. Come on and hang out with us. We got Skaz here, and it's our intern Joey's final night, so you will hear from him today. We'll bring him in for a couple of segments, and we'll have some fun as we're here until 10 o'clock tonight. The story is Juan Soto signing with the Mets for a stupid deal. Just an absolute stupid deal. I never thought the Red Sox would pay the money. Never. But I did wonder if this was a way for them to show that they're going to care this year after years of not. I thought that there might be a way where they could sway David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez, talk about the culture, Alex Cora staying. I thought that was what's still here in Boston. I think it's still here. But in the end, it is money, and the Red Sox weren't going to match the money. They were going to be far behind and use their championships and their pedigree, et cetera, and I feel like it just doesn't work here. I think the Celtics tried to do that for years, right? Look at all the championships. They couldn't lure free agents for years. Now the Red Sox are getting guys that might have been good somewhere else. Well, they're not getting the money they want, so they settle in Boston on a one-year deal, and then they cash in somewhere, right? We saw our buddy Pipes O'Neill. We liked Pipes this year, but Sox weren't going to match it. He gets a 3-year deal in Baltimore. The history of the Red Sox doesn't matter anymore. Wheeling in Pedro Martinez and David Ortiz, it doesn't work. I thought having Alex Cora here might lure some more free agents or Latin players. But in the end, it is about money. But I was curious about Soto. You know, I was wondering if he liked it here in Boston. The reports were, and again, here we are, believing reports from the local sports team. Our fault once again. But we thought it was close. Or we heard it was close. Or he liked it here. We heard reports about his sister potentially looking at real estate in the area. We all fell for it. It was all about money. And in the end, the Mets were going to get their guy. Their owner was going to spend to get their shiny new toy. They've struggled for years, that team. They made a nice little playoff run last year. Why not add to the next year, getting the number one free agent, one of the best available players in baseball? So, in a way, bravo to the Mets for now. I'm sure long-term, that's a horrible deal. But they got the guy they want. Who knows? I mean, every team that has spent giant money recently in the game has done well, and I'm just leaning towards the Dodgers. I mean, just think about this, Red Sox fans, for a second. The Red Sox offered somewhere near $700 million for Juan Soto, but didn't even sniff around Shohei Ohtani. It makes me wonder. That one blows my mind. In on Soto, out on Ohtani? That's exactly what the Red Sox did. And just, if you look at the biggest numbers now in the game, does Mookie Betts' contract look so bad right now? And I don't know, when you look at Rafael Devers' contract, how's that one look long-term? The Red Sox basically just told everyone that they're willing to spend $50, $60, $70 million this offseason. Right? Isn't that what they just said? I mean, they're interested in everybody, right? They're interested. They're the interest kings. Of course, I'm glad they were in on Soto, but in the end, right? In the end, they didn't get the guy. They deserve zero credit for finishing third. Third. Behind the Mets and Yankees. They finished third. So although they progressed from not even offering Ohtani a deal, they at least finished third. So for the people out there, bravo. They deserve zero credit for that. Zero. And I was reading from Rob Bradford. It was a notion that few in baseball believed would ever be a reality until the Red Sox found themselves as one of the few clubs deemed serious enough to actually score a meeting with the elite free agent. It was a pursuit that led to the Red Sox to actually believing there might be a chance Soto would be coming to Boston. All the way up until some of the chief decision makers in the organization went out to eat Sunday night. I wonder where they went. But it was at that meal, with Soto's agent Scott Boras sitting just a few tables away, the Sox got news that they were waking up from the improbable dream. That's when they found out. You know, it kind of reminds me of Batman. You know, when Alfred says to him, "Hey man, you know, someday I just want to see you out and about." Then they give each other the old head nod. Did Scott Boras just give the Red Sox executives the old head nod like Alfred gave the head nod to Bruce Wayne? Hey, guys, thanks for upping the deal for us. You finished third. I'm going to put in a good word for you guys. That's exactly what happened here. The Red Sox deserve zero credit for finishing third. It's progress from actually offering someone because they didn't to Shohei Ohtani. The Red Sox need to have a big free agency to make up for not getting this player. And whether it's this player, it's the fact that they would have went $51 million a year with a player. They need to now make finishing third in the pursuit worth something. Because me, Skaz, Intern Joey, and everybody else here, we talked about it on these airwaves knowing it would never happen. So if you want to pay off, make the pursuit worth something here in the rest of free agency. Instead, you finished third. Whee! You finished third. I still can't believe they didn't, offer Ohtani money. And then when I see Mookie Betts' contract, I'm like, jeez, chump change nowadays. Anyways, your thoughts on Juan Soto signing with the Mets and the Red Sox missing out at 617-779-0985. The Red Sox wanted to spend. Now what? And we'll hear a little bit more of the pursuit for Juan Soto from the Red Sox. We'll do all that as we're here until 10 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
From the Sports Hub of Joe Murray. Full show tonight. I feel like it's been a while since we let the old wings fly, So we got it all tonight. We got In or Out, 7:50. Murray's Musings, 8:50 tonight. Some interesting ones. I pulled a couple of goodies. And then we have Intern Joey's Last Night tonight. Who knows what could happen? Who knows what questions I could ask him? Who knows what he says before he goes? Who knows? And you can join the show at 617-779-0985 and on YouTube. I'm in there right now. People are chatting it up. I like how it has an AI write-up when you go on to tell you what people are talking about in the chat. I really like that feature. And you can see me in my gray polo or whatever the hell I'm wearing right now. Juan Soto to the Mets. People believed I'm over the Red Sox history, Pedro, Manny, David Ortiz thing. I'm out. Didn't work for the Celtics. It's not going to work for the Red Sox anymore. And quite frankly, it probably isn't going to happen for the Patriots. And a little tease here we'll get into later, but Gerard Mayo sat down for an interview, but Rodney Harrison, former Patriot, basically said, Patriots aren't going to get anybody unless they pay more. So that's coming from a future Hall of Famer who is weekly talking to other guys in the league. So as far as the Red Sox trying to spin Fenway and the history, it doesn't work anymore. So now the Red Sox will turn to using some of their resources on other higher price free agents. What about pitchers Max Fried, Corbin Burns? Teoscar Hernandez, he's hinting he wants to go back to the Dodgers, but also still said he has interest in the Red Sox. Everybody's using the Red Sox, right? This is the year. They're going to do more. They finished third, remember? Mets, Yankees, Red Sox. So the Red Sox are spenders. So I'm sure Teoscar Hernandez, why not use the Red Sox in that case? Reading again from Rob Bradford. One of the players the Red Sox might immediately prioritize is Alex Bregman. Of course, you all remember him with the Astros. He'll be 31 this year on opening day. And, when you think about him, he was, I believe he was offered a qualifying offer. But he would fit a lot of things that the Red Sox need. He hits from the right side. He could be the starting second baseman, right? I just feel like that's a position of need. Why not spend? Get a veteran who's won before. And I believe he was with Alex Cora. And also represented by who? Alfred from Batman. Scott Boras. I don't know where that reference came from in my brain, Skaz. I always reference it every once in a while when it's the guy who gives you the old cheers. Who said something to you that just kind of stuck with you over the years, but was a mentor and also handled your money. So I just went Alfred. I don't know why. But to reel in Bregman, the Red Sox front office, they're going to have to enter a little bit of a different level of discomfort. Free agent pursuits haven't been great. And they were in on Juan Soto, but really Soto was out on the Red Sox. So, Skaz, I'll bring you in here. Your thoughts? We never thought. We barely talked about this on the show.
Yeah, I never thought they were getting Juan Soto. I know some people had him signed to the Red Sox on Thanksgiving, but I never thought that was going to happen. They wanted to be third. That's where the Red Sox want to be. That's who they are. They didn't go to $700 million until two other teams already had. They knew they were not going to get the yes from Soto, so they were never really committed to that money, and now It's all about, what do they do next? Do they get Fried? Do they get, a Burns, a Hernandez, Bregman, someone like that? I'm of the belief that they were never in on Soto, but I also think they can have a good offseason without Juan Soto. I think that's still possible if they're willing to spend money. If you were going to spend, quote unquote, $700 million for Soto, there's no reason you can't spend, $700 million to fill out the rest of your baseball team. But I also am of the belief that that's not what's going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. I don't have any belief in the Red Sox to spend money on top tier talent. They haven't shown that they're willing to do that. They'll bring in guys like Trevor Story that are, injury riddled and stuff like that. And Teoscar Hernandez will probably go back to the Dodgers because they're a better team with a better ownership group.
Can we just talk about Soto for a minute? Good player.
He's a Hall of Famer at 26.
He's a good player.
He's a great player.
Okay. Does he move the needle for you?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe for you he does.
Absolutely.
This guy got $300 more million in Ohtani. Sorry, I can't buy it. Like that, he's that good?
Hey, the market dictates what you're worth, right?
It's like the housing market. Yeah, okay.
I don't blame him.
Okay.
It's not his fault he's worth that.
Listen, I will never, ever get on someone for taking the most money. Never. And quite frankly, I won't even get on the Mets for being stupid to pay it, but that owner, though.
You were never going to compete with this guy.
No, this guy was determined.
From the day he bought the team.
I was in the car business for years, and there were always those guys at the auction that were big talkers, right? And like when I used to do scouts, I hype up a car. I'm like, look at this thing, man. I really want it. And I tell the guy, and he'd be like, yeah, there's a couple of dings on the side. Needs a little bit of this. And then I'd go into the auction lane, and the guy was always the highest bidder. This was the owner of the Mets. Let's hear a little bit of Stevie talking about competing in economics in Major League Baseball.
You want a ring. How many years do you think it will take you to get there? How much will it cost?
Well, I don't care about the cost side. I mean, I think over time,
But do you think you don't think about this as philanthropic, do you?
I do.
You do.
That's why I bought the team. Okay, well, that's exactly why I bought the team. And I said in my original press conference, if I can make millions of people happy, how cool is that? And so I actually view it as a civic responsibility.
Wow. Imagine John Henry saying that.
That's the guy you want owning your baseball team. That's the guy you want owning anything you're involved in.
It's my civic responsibility to spend the most money to get the best players.
He grew up a Mets fan. Now he has more money than just about anybody in the entire world, and he wants to make other Mets fans happy.
Wick tried that.
And he succeeded.
They won a championship.
Might have cost him his stake in the team, but...
And family. But,
yeah, but...
He's got that ring.
Got that ring. That's
Kiss
for life.
the ring, baby. I have never heard an owner say that in my life. So if you're a Mets fan today, you have to be happy. Well, do you think they'll do more?
Yes.
What are the Mets? I'm trying to think.
They have to re-sign Alonso, I think, would be a
done.
big one.
Fine.
I would think that
want to play
gets
with
done.
Juan Soto? See you later. Done.
Makes his life a lot easier.
It's going to make him his year. I mean, that's a guy who struggled a little bit, turned it on late in the year.
Yeah.
But if he gets him in the lineup, he's going to see more fastballs and less wear and tear, which makes the contract even better, too. They'll probably get a pitcher out of it, out of free agency. Who knows? Now the Red Sox, who used to for years have to worry about the Yankees, now have to worry about the damn Dodgers and Mets now. And, the Phillies spend money, too. I know that.
Yeah, so the Yankees that are fans that are upset that Steve Cohen did this, you have no leg to stand on. You were doing this for the last 30 years.
Yes. And now you suck. And nobody wants to play for you. Like the Mets, for real, let's be honest. What were the Mets able to trot out there for years? Gary Carter,
Jose Reyes was a big name. David Wright.
Mike Piazza was a big name. But they didn't win.
Yeah, Johan Santana. But yeah, they went to the World Series, but they didn't win.
The Subway Series and lost to the Yankees. They've always been the stepchild to the Yankees. The Yankees can show look at all the, they can go out to the outfield and see all that and the new stadium and the pinstripes and whatever. Does that matter anymore? Yankee Stadium's not even the same atmosphere it once was. I just feel like the league needs to realize no one cares what you've done before. They care about who you are now.
Well, couldn't you compare this? I know we're not allowed to cross sports, Joe, but the Patriots.
Yes.
I mean, you have to spend money. No one cares that you have 6 titles. No one cares that Bill Belichick used to be your head coach or Tom Brady used to be your quarterback. It's the Yankees. You still have to be the highest spender. And, Soto went to the highest bidder. That's good for him. He was a free agent. The market dictated what he was worth, and the Mets paid him.
If the Mets never win a World Series, do the Red Sox win? Like, is it advantage Red Sox if the Mets never win a World Series? I'm going to say no, because I think if you wanted the guy, you paid for the guy, you got the guy. That's it. So this isn't about the Red Sox winning or they finished third. You didn't get the guy. How would you grade the process, guys? I still think it's a fail. You missed him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so done with the interest in or talking to and all that. Just sign a good baseball player.
Remember they were going to have a little bit of a plot twist to the contract? They were going to add more years instead of money. That was their...
Yankees tried that. They went to 16 years.
Yeah, so the Red Sox were like, we're going to give him 3.
And then apparently the Yankees version of Bird might have screwed up the contract for them. A security guard that was not too nice to Juan Soto's family, the rumors are saying.
You know what? I'm going to text Bird about that one.
Imagine being the guy, the Yankee security guard that potentially cost the team Juan Soto. It's got to be a tough day at the office.
Yeah. Well, this reminds me of the guy Dom from Philly.
It's like a Costanza spinoff story right there.
Like he used to be Danny Tartable, him driving and giving the finger to somebody. Now it's Juan Soto's family couldn't come into the club.
His private chef wasn't allowed or something like that.
That's great. Brian's in the truck. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Good, bud.
So I want to talk about Belichick, man. I think if he goes to UNC, this is just a horrible, horrible look for him. I mean, there was one job I thought he kind of saved face, and that was Navy. Kind of a win-win. You go, you win. You get some credit, you lose. Well, it's Navy, you have recruiting restrictions. I just think this is such a poor look for Bill.
I disagree. We're going to get into this in a little bit. It's okay. There's no wrong opinion here, by the way. Well, you can have your opinion. I can have mine with just a healthy little conversation here on a Monday night. I don't feel that way. Control might be a little part of it, but I don't feel that way. Justin is in Shrewsbury. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for taking my call. So I think it might be actually a potentially a good thing that the Red Sox going to get Soto. Yes, obviously it would have been nice to have him. But he is another lefty bat, and this does show that they are willing to spend on top-tier free agents, and there's a lot of holes that they still need, specifically starting pitching. So if they're willing to, kind of go out and offer this type of much money to Soto, they should be able and willing to offer this much money to Corbin Burns, Max Fried, Mike Soroka, Walker Buehler, and then some, batters as well, like Teoscar Hernandez and Pete Alonso. So, this is a positive sign, especially how they've been not spending any money the past few years. So let's just hope that this isn't just a, one and done type thing, and they actually go and get some more, players that they actually need.
Well, let's just hope that they don't back off on anybody because of the money. That's my whole thing. Like, if you want the guy, just pay for him. Just pay for him. And just to clear it up, they were what's Soto gonna make? $51 million a year.
That guy was certainly drinking the Kool-Aid, huh?
Oh yeah. But my whole thing is, think of it as they were gonna spend $50 million plus on one player this year. So this year, this offseason, I expect them to spend $50 to $70 million. Am I off on that?
No, Joe, you should be, correct on that. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
Do you know why I don't think it's going to happen? Because I feel like they're going to pick and choose. Two reasons. Number one, players are going to say, if you want me to come to Boston, you got to pay the piper. That's number one. And I think two, I think there's still a little. Ainge was hesitant to trade picks. I think they're hesitant to do that too, but also give people the money. So in the end, they're going to be too late. They might like someone, but be too late on a deal. And they're going to get used by someone. This is why Breslow isn't really the right guy. Did I say that yet tonight? We think that Craig Breslow can close Juan Soto? Are we serious? Because John Henry didn't even meet the guy. But the owner of the Mets is like, it's a damn obligation. No, what did he say? It's a civic duty or something?
It's a civic responsibility.
It's a civic responsibility. back in 04 or those years, 03, whenever, it was a civic. It really was. No, for real, it was. Now, where is John? Like, where? There's no more Christmas at Fenway. It's now Frozen Fest or something.
I think it's gone to a one-day event. Cutting costs, making sure they have enough money for free agents. I'm sure.
Okay. Greg is in New Hampshire. Hi, Greg.
Hello.
Hey.
So I know Soto's a big, strong, healthy guy at 26, but 2 words for you, Bobby Bonilla. I can see this, 5-6 years from now turning into that type of deal where the Mets are just paying and paying for years to come, and they'll probably reap some short-term benefits. They'll be able to sign some extra talent on top of him because, who wouldn't want to go to the Mets now? But I can see, down the road, it's going to turn into them paying this money for a very long time and him just getting hurt and missing out.
I get you. Like Albert Bell did that. There's a lot of other guys. The only thing I want to mention about Bonilla's contract, he deferred the payments, which turned into a lot of money for a long time because of what happened with the Mets, and I won't get into the details, but that was deferred money. That's what happened there. Stan's in Medfield. Hey, Stan.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
So if any Sox fan actually thinks that the Red Sox really made an actual attempt to try to sign him, you've got to be joking.
Well, they finished third.
It was all for show.
They finished third.
Yeah. It was all a show. It was to put on something for the fans. They knew they were going to get outbid, and they didn't have an opportunity. And then any Sox fan that also has sour grapes over this and is poo-pooing the Mets signing them, again, you wish you had him on your team. He's one of the best players in the league. So don't crap on the deal because you didn't get him. Your team never actually made an attempt.
All right. Appreciate it, my man. I'm only crapping on the deal because I don't think anybody's worth that kind of money. But I'm just a normal person like you all. I think I'm normal. Like, no one deserves $700 million, but also I'm not going to blame the guy for taking the money. And if the Red Sox spent it, I would have been like, all right, now how are they going to fix this left-handed situation they have? There's a lot there. In a way, I wonder if they were, like, trying to butter up Scott Boras. Like, Boras was doing him a solid, saying they finished third. And, because Boras has all these other clients, too, and the Red Sox and Boras' past relationships were great, but I don't know. Pat's in Shrewsbury. Hey, Pat.
Hey, yeah, the last guy said pretty much the same thing I'm going to say, which is, it's real easy to commit $700 million when you're not going to have to spend it. Again, not to cross sports, but kind of like the Wick thing. It was real easy to agree to those contracts when you're not going to be the one paying them, and not necessarily on him or on his dad. But I do think it was funny that you mentioned kind of the Bonilla thing, and that we won't be celebrating like a Juan Soto day 50 years in the future.
Oh, we have some production that we've been working on, Skaz. I don't know if we should play it now or save it for the commercial. I don't know when, but... Soto. This was in my head all weekend long. Soto. This deal is a life breaker for Red Sox fans. All weekend long, I'm like, say it ain't Soto. I had a couple of others, too. Wasn't there one from, was it Anchorman? Where Soto was the name of the bear, the panda? Why am I mistaking that one right now? I might be right about that. And then if you're a wrestling fan right now, there's the other tribal chief is named Solo. So I could have used some, I love you, Soto. But I didn't go there. Nixon Winthrop. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Joe, from the show. Listen, how are we going to justify going after Soto for this much money after letting Mookie walk? I know it's been discussed, but I feel like it's not been discussed enough. We had the team. Why did we just let it vanish and now we're going to go and spend silly money like this on Soto. Like, why? It's been 3 years. They need to regret their decisions more, and I feel like this Soto thing is a big regret. I'll let you go. Thanks, Joe. Bye.
Hey, listen, I'm more pissed they weren't even in on Ohtani, okay? But yes, how does the Mookie Betts deal look right now? $375 million versus $700. I like Mookie. You could have just kept him. Could have had him and Devers. Imagine. And it would have cost the amount of Soto. Boom, boom, psh, boom, boom, psh. Say it ain't Soto. Say it ain't Soto. We'll go to break after this on the Score Zone. Say it ain't Soto.
I was in a college program, the college program would be a pipeline to the NFL for the players that had the ability to play in the NFL. It would be a professional program, training, nutrition, scheme, coaching, techniques that would transfer to the NFL. It would be an NFL program at a college level and an education that would get the players ready for their career after football, whether that was the end of their college career or at the end of their pro career. But it would be, geared toward, developing the player, time management, discipline, structure, and all that would be life skills, regardless of whether they're in the NFL or in somewhere in business. And I feel very confident that I have the contacts in the National Football League to pave the way for those players that would have the ability to have the opportunity to compete in the National Football League. Whether they're good enough or not, I don't know, but they would be ready for it. I don't have any doubt about that.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. That was Bill Belichick on the Pat McAfee Show. We got Juan Soto still on the table, but I wanted to get into Belichick. Let me just say this. When I react quickly to things, I might be dismissive. Right? But you'll know quick if I'm in or out on something, like fast. I was dismissive about Bill Belichick coaching at North Carolina. I was very dismissive about it. This week, I'm coming around on it. And I know Bill's already got his guys carrying the water for him. I know that. I'm not going to do that. But what Bill just said right there, and I've talked about this multiple times, and if you watch college football this weekend, you just need a coach and a quarterback in the ACC. And you can win the championship. Dabo Swinney won the ACC this year with Cade Klubnik, whatever his name is. He's been there a starter for 4 years. They beat SMU on a late second field goal. But my point is, SMU, by the way, made it to the college playoff with their new coach and their quarterback. You're a coach and a quarterback away in the ACC. Year after year, you've seen them. Jordan Travis was great last year. Got hurt, done. Right? You're a coach and a quarterback away. But Bill Belichick said, we'll see on the Pat McAfee Show today. He did a 15-minute appearance. He talked about how much thought he's put into coaching in college. And he described both his vision and potential recruiting pitch for what a college program would look like. Again, said if it would be a professional program. If it would be a pipeline for the NFL. It would be an NFL program at the college level and an education that would get them ready for life after football. Sounds like Bill trying to give back or Bill making a pitch already. By the way, I just wanted to mention this. Today is Transfer Portal Day. You can officially announce if you want to enter the transfer portal. BC's quarterback entered the transfer portal today. So, I don't know. Bill Belichick comes to North Carolina. Somebody's at NC State or Clemson or one of the somewhere nearby. What, Coastal Carolina, you name it. You can now enter the transfer portal and wait to end up if Bill Belichick gets there. But I like the pitch. There's no other place like this. Alabama was a program for the NFL. Only thing I'll say is this. I think they peak at Alabama. Some guys peaked. Trent Richardson peaked at Alabama. Mac Jones peaked his first year in the NFL. Right? Some guys at Alabama peaked in college. But there are other guys that can keep going. Derrick Henry's one of them, right? I mean, Jerry Jeudy now has a resurgence. There are some guys that just peak at Alabama, but that's what it was about. Being the best in college to get into the NFL. Bill could do that. I don't think he's going to want to do the recruiting and deal with the NILs. Plus, I don't think he's going to give anybody money because he wouldn't do it with the Patriots. But will we start seeing a different side of things? And what I mean by that is it's the college money. Michael Jordan went there and gives them tons of money from Nike. When Bill was running the Patriots, it was Kraft's money. Bill may not have done the deals because of Kraft. In the end, I think Bill was the cheap guy, but I'm starting to think differently on that. All I'm saying is this. Bill Belichick's talking. He had a 5-hour talk yesterday. Boom. What do I hear today? NFL teams are interested in Deion Sanders. Guess what's next? Ryan Day, when he loses at the college football playoff, don't be surprised if Mike Vrabel goes to Ohio State. A domino is about to fall and Belichick's ahead of the game. College football has changed, everybody. It's a business now. If you're a blue chip talent, you're going to get paid and work with a professional coach that will get you to the NFL, which is different than anywhere else. It used to be about winning and tradition and all that. You watch. Deion goes to the NFL. Watch Vrabel go to college. Watch guys who are in the NFL now go to college. I think Bill Belichick is starting the domino effect of this whole entire thing. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I did want to get into something regarding Tom Brady as well. We'll take your calls. I see you guys lined up on the phone lines. I see you on YouTube as well. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Nakua. You got to be kidding me.
Let's see. 1-2.
Oh, my God. Insane.
Rams are trying to go quick so the Bills can't challenge.
Yeah, it's good. Now they know they got it. Now he can settle back and get into the play that he wants.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. I just wanted to sneak in that I thought Tom Brady was really good yesterday. Now, mind you, I watch every single football game from this studio, the Town Fair Tire Studios. I work post-game for Patriots. Well, it was the bye week, so I had a chance to sit my ass in a chair for probably 10 hours yesterday. What would you say? Well, yeah, 10 hours, I would say. And I watched everything. I watched the horrible Mac Jones performance that won the game. Somehow. Still waiting on my big bet. Worst team in the NFL, Patriots. Oh, dude, imagine if it's a 4-way tie for who has the least amount of wins. How's the bet going to determine that one? Is it going to go? I might have to look into my Mr. Pickles on that one. I thought Brady was really good yesterday. I never have a chance to really sit down and listen to him. I thought he was good. And really where I thought he was good was the Bills' final offensive possession. Talking about how they had 3 timeouts and under a minute and run a play here and take 3 shots to the end zone, and they didn't. And when they took their first timeout, Brady basically said, that's the game, unless they go for the onside kick. I thought Brady was really good. And I've heard clips. I haven't really heard him live. I thought he was excellent yesterday. I thought he was excellent. I thought he knew almost what to do more than the coaches did. And the quarterbacks, for that matter. But that's why they pay him the big bucks, right? Hey, listen. Fox wanted Tom Brady, and they spent whatever they wanted for the guy. It's starting to work, and I think he's working on it, by the way. I think he lost his voice, though, because he was on pregame with Edelman and Gronk, and he was being he was rubbing elbows. I'll say that. I thought Bill was good. All right, I see you guys on the phone lines. We'll get to you. Let's just get a quick look at the headlines. No commercials here, and then your calls. And then we're going to talk to Brian Barrett coming up at 7:20 from The Ringer. But first, your sports and headlines.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, the Patriots.
Into the end zone!
Touchdown
for the Patriots!
WBC FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots back in practice. They had their bye week. They play Arizona this Sunday, who have now lost 3 straight games. They fell to the Seahawks yesterday. Get the Cowboys and Bengals tonight on Monday Night Football. Kickoff for that. And just about after 8:20, Bill Belichick still talking to the University of North Carolina and talked about if he was to take the job, he would want it to be a pipeline to the NFL. And no Bruins, no Celtics tonight. Nothing. Headlines are brought to you by South Shore Bank. At Beatles Bank, sharing your success and growing your business is what above and beyond banking is all about. Happy holidays from South Shore Bank. Member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender. I'm Joe Murray.
Boston plays here.
Coming through the slot. Close shot. Save. Rebound. Score.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Back full show. No games. So we started off Juan Soto going to the Mets. We talked about Bill Belichick going to North Carolina, and I actually can see it as a reality more than dismissing it like I did previously. And I thought Bill Belichick was pretty good in the broadcast last night. So we'll get into some Patriot stuff. I know Gerard Mayo had a chance to talk this week. And I looked into some of the wide receivers in the draft. Not this upcoming draft, the previous draft. and just wanted to highlight a certain group from a certain school. So we'll do that coming up in just a bit. Let's get to the phones here. Let's start with Joe in the Cape. What's up, down the Cape? What's up, Joe? Hey, Joe. Joe.
Murray, you there?
I'm here, bro. What's up?
Sorry, brother. I'm just talking about Soto. He got a 15-year deal. I don't feel like he's worth 15 years. He's going to be 42 at his, end of his contract. I'd like to see the Red Sox go after Alex Guerrero Jr. He's a better fit. If you look at the stats at Fenway Park, right-hander, he's lights out there. He would be such a good deal for us.
What about free agents?
Yeah, there's a few guys that we could pick up, but I think I like the Soto deal to me is that's a waste of money. He's a good player, but he's not.
Hey, Joe, were you cooking? Were you cooking dinner?
I was. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
I just got out of the car. I started cooking. Yeah.
What are you cooking?
Fried chicken sandwiches.
Ooh, fried chicken sandwiches, huh?
Homemade.
So let's talk about it. Did you make them yourself? Flour, egg?
I do.
That?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
What kind of bread? What kind of bread do you use?
Soak the chicken for 2 days. Panko.
So you use panko, okay? And then what type of bread? Do you just use a Hawaiian roll or?
No, I do a bulky roll.
A bulky roll, huh? And what do you got?
Different.
What do you got for flavors and all and toppings?
But I do a buttered bulky roll.
Okay.
So then I toast it up a little bit.
Okay, and any sauce?
I don't do any sauce. No, I like a straight up fried up chicken sandwich.
Just a straight fried bulky.
Yep. Sometimes cheese.
Okay. No barbecue though, huh? No hot sauce.
No sauce. Yeah, pickles. Yep.
Ooh, a pickle. Okay.
Yep. Keep it simple.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in while you're cooking.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thanks again for taking my call.
Thank you. Love me a good chicken sandwich. Did we talk about this the other night? Why do I feel like we've talked about this before?
If it's food related, Joe, we've probably touched on it.
No, I did think he was cooking.
Well, he was banging around some pots and pans, it sounded like.
Yeah. He said he aged it for 2 days, the chicken.
Seems a little excessive for a chicken sandwich,
right?
but hey.
You know what I love about a good chicken sandwich? Beating the crap out of it with a hammer. You know one of those wooden hammers when you stretch that bad boy out and beat the crap out of it? I love doing that. Tyrell is in Braintree. Hey, Tyrell.
Hey, how's it going, guys? You almost lost my train of thought from that last phone call about the fried chicken, man. But anyways, a point you brought up about 15 minutes ago about how the ACC is one head coach and one quarterback away. Now, if this conversation is a year ago and Bill Belichick signs and Drake May's on his senior year, do you think them two win the ACC together? I'll hang up and listen.
Yes. You don't even have to hang up, bro. Yes. You know what? I think Drake... Okay. If I'm looking at the ACC just this year, and I apologize for the people who aren't college football players, who watch college football. I apologize. But off the top of my head, I would say Cam Ward was probably the best ACC quarterback this year. I thought the kid from Georgia Tech was absolutely outstanding. And I'm not going to give you the names because I don't want to butcher them. But if I was just going by ACC schools, Drake May would have been number one in the ACC, no doubt about it. SMU's quarterback was really good. Clemson, I already mentioned Klubnik. The old Georgia quarterback who was at Syracuse, Drake May would have been better than him. Duke, Virginia Tech, BC, Pitt, NC State, Virginia, Cal, Wake Forest. Yes, Drake May would have been the best quarterback in the ACC this year. Duke finished what? I know they were 5-3 in their. I don't know why. I can't remember their record. Oh, they went 7-5. Do I think Drake May would have been better than 7-5 this year? Yes. Do I think they could have been better than the 11-2 SMU football team? Questionable. Oh my God! Imagine May and Belichick. That would have been just funny, huh? How the guy that had bad footwork and everything like that. Is now on the Patriots, playing pretty well. Find that one funny, Skaz?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting wrinkle. But Joe, do you think an 18-year-old college or high school quarterback coming out wants to play for Bill Belichick?
I don't know.
You think they want to play for Dion or Bill?
Dion. Think about this. There are like Matt Rule or Bill.
I think I'd rather go to UNC than Nebraska, but I understand the point.
Yeah. I mean, would you rather go to, Notre Dame or Bill?
Yeah, because you're not going to UNC. You're going to Belichick.
Yes. You're going to Belichick University. BBU. You're going to BBU. I'm just like Miami. Would you rather play for Crystal Ball and go to Miami and get paid? Or Bill Belichick University? Might be Bill. And Crystal Ball's a hell of a coach. I know he's had his hiccups. Don't get me wrong.
There's an issue with the clock every once in a while.
BC, Syracuse, Bill.
Yeah, no question, Bill.
Wake Forest, Florida State, Bill.
I think it depends on who the Florida State head coach is.
It's right now, Bill.
Yeah, 100%.
There's probably SMU's coach is really good. I don't know how many people are rushing to go play at SMU, but
I just wonder what the pull is for Belichick to high schoolers. Like, what his level of bringing guys in. Like, if you're a young quarterback, do you say, oh, this is the guy that coached Tom Brady, or do you say this is the guy that coached Mac Jones?
In Bill's defense,
he didn't want him.
Can you believe Bill and Josh McDaniels got Mac Jones to be a Pro Bowler? And I'm not. Listen, this is a real discussion. I'm not.
No, Joe, I think you're right. Mac Jones really sucks. He's terrible. And he didn't completely suck when he had Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. So if you want to give them credit for that, fine. But I also think they deserve some blame for the rest of the issues.
Absolutely. Now, what about him in Jacksonville now? I mean, he was benched, dude, for C.J. Beathard who got hurt. Like, Beathard was, out of the league. They brought him back because Mac was sucking so bad. Then he gets hurt, and Mac wins? Whew.
I mean, best case scenario, maybe it depends on how you look at it, but a good scenario for the Patriots yesterday with Mac Jones winning. Helps their draft pick.
Yep. Helps my bet.
Really, really screwed the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. Again.
The only problem with that Jaguars win is that now the teams with the first and second pick are teams that need quarterbacks, so that trade value probably has dipped somewhat.
Somewhat. We'll see how it finishes, right? Man, the Raiders have really fallen, huh?
Shadur Sanders wants to go to the Raiders more than I think I've ever seen a prospect want to go to a team.
What about Dion there? Dude, I would be going back to 1989 buying starter jackets if that's what happens. But do you get what I mean? Like, the nostalgia of a 40-plus is in on that. What about a kid? You're making the comparison about a kid from high school or prep school or whatever. Like, do you want to go? Like, think about it. You play in Colorado, dude. You're getting a show after the game. You might get Megan Thee Stallion.
You're getting a show on the sidelines during the game.
During the game. It's like the Replacements, remember? The cheerleaders? It's like that. Some guy got in the car and Joe was talking chicken sandwiches, but it wasn't. I was asking the guy because he was making them. By the way, do you put sauce on your chicken sandwich? I feel like that was a little bit of I want barbecue. I want something.
You got to do like a little mayo, maybe. I like the Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce is pretty good.
Great.
Something like that.
Barbecue, hot sauce, mayo, just something. Raw dog and chicken sandwiches. Ted, hi Ted, in Haverhill, right?
Hey Murray, how's it going?
How you doing?
That's so funny. I'm making fresh chicken tenders right now.
Ooh,
That's
tendies!
So crazy. Got some tendies going.
You made them yourself? Did you cut them or did you get them frozen from the freezer?
No. Come on, Murray. I'm not gonna. Mill it in like that.
I'm a freezer guy, straight to the air fryer, no doubt.
Oh yeah, no. I got the Italian bread going, a little egg wash. Nice and tasty. But
what kind of sauces will you use?
All day, the honey mustard and the Hawaiian barbecue.
Good man. What you got tonight?
Just the Belichick, stuff is, I just find it hilarious. Oh, and I love the shout out to Tom. He threw his first ever pass to Tom Brady in college was an interception, pick 6.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, you know that? At Michigan, his first ever pass was a pick 6.
I actually did not know that, no.
Yeah, but just like everything else, he'll be perfect at it. But, yeah, Bill, let's be real. There's going to be 8 to 10 teams next year that need a head coach. And you're telling me, they're going to look at Belichick, altogether 8 rings, be like, nah, we'll pass. We'll pass. We're going to see Ben Johnson. We'll see how much he wants. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think they're just doing this today, Ted, because the portal opened up, and if people want to transfer, UNC is open for business.
I agree, but I think that Bill is a little scared to be shown to be kind of a Fugazi, though, without Brady being his quarterback, though, at the pro level. So then he goes to college, and maybe he gets on the list with Johnson and Barry Switzer. He's got a national title and a Super Bowl.
And Pete Carroll.
But you can't tell me that no teams in the NFL don't want Bill Belichick come next year.
I agree with you, Ted, and enjoy those tendies. No one wanted Bill last year. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 legit candidates that are out of the league right now. People are going to give you the Vrabels. People are going to give you, I think Arthur Smith could be a coach again. I think Todd Bowles could end up somewhere else. Matt Nagy. I don't like Matt Nagy, but I don't think Eric Bieniemy's getting a job after being fired from UCLA. But these coordinators, though, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, there's 2 more for you. And here's the other thing. Nobody wants a coach who's going to be around for a year or 2. They want longevity. Bill doesn't offer that. Might be a little desperate to get. I shouldn't say desperate, but I don't think the North Carolina thing's as bad as we all think it is. It's just get back into the league. Who can he convince? Eric's in the car.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Hey.
So I walked out of the place. I was dropping some skis off, and I heard you guys talking chicken sandwiches. It was so funny because I was talking chicken sandwiches with a friend of mine this weekend. I'm going to tell you something about chicken sandwiches that you never noticed before. You'll notice every time you have one now. You ready?
Okay.
So if you have a chicken sandwich, right? I like mine, lettuce, mayo, maybe cheese, maybe not. Eat that chicken sandwich. You eat about 3 or 4 bites of it. Then you grab yourself a Coke. When you take a sip of that Coke, there's about a half a second where the taste in your mouth is not chicken sandwich, but it ain't Coke either. It's something in between. And that, my friend, is impossible to achieve without a chicken sandwich and a Coke. So, there you go.
His wipers were bothering me. Do you know what he's talking about? What was worse, that or the girl listening to herself talk while I was asking her Irish questions? So I guess they played that on the morning show, the call?
Leisha?
Yeah. People thought I was being rude to her. It wasn't the case at all. Now she's a fan of the show. Where was she from again? Cork, Ireland. You can listen to us on YouTube in Cork, Ireland. Hey, Brian Barrett of the Ringers coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more.
Back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I've gotten more reaction about chicken sandwiches in the last 5 minutes than I have in a long time. Who would have thought? Well, let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline right now. We'll welcome in Brian Barrett, he of The Ringer. Brian, did you ever think the Juan Soto stuff was ever real? Like, were you checking your phone and refreshing? Like, did you think there was a possibility?
I never thought they really had a chance. Like, it was clear that they were actually, like, in the conversation and they felt good about their meetings. Like, I do believe that when they met with Soto, I almost think it was like, hey, it's Juan Soto. He's entering his 26-year-old season. He's inarguably a top 5 position player in the sport. Like, if you have an opportunity, you might as well talk to him. And I almost think they probably went into that, and it's like, whoa, this meeting actually went a lot better than we thought we would. Our sell job was actually pretty good. So I think that's when they started to believe that they were actually in it. But considering the 2 other teams that were in it, that he just played for the Yankees in a World Series, and that Steve Cohen is the owner of the Mets, and they were going to do whatever they can to take that guy away from the Yankees, I never got like excited that, hey, it may actually happen. I never got that far into it, but it's something that I did not expect, that they would be in it this far.
So I just feel like they finished third. It was presented that way. Maybe that's a win for them or for Boris, because Boris has other clients as well. But at least it went out there that at least they were in on it. I don't credit them for that. I think they deserve 0 credit. But they did have a pursuit. I think they could pay off that pursuit by making some more moves now in free agency. And, well, if they were going to dedicate $50 million plus to one player, why not make it a bunch of players? So I know you had some numbers on Teoscar Hernandez, on Bregman, and how it relates to the Red Sox. Can you tell us a little bit about those players and how they would fit? And is there anyone that you think would be a good fit for them in free agency?
Yeah, well, first, let me say this, just what you were just saying a second ago there, is the fact that we do know that all those teams that were in it at the end, there was at least a $700 million offer. So to your point about spending money, they are clearly willing to spend money this offseason. Now it's just a matter of, can you land these guys? Because I do feel like, Joe, in previous years, we're maybe sold something that wasn't true or that they wanted us to believe. Now it does feel like they're actually at the point where they're aggressive. Like, if you read anything about the pitch, they were talking about, to Soto, these younger players that are coming up, they're more willing to spend money now. So I think we're there, and I think they realize, like, it's time to go. With Bregman, I mean, if you watch Alex Cora's press conference today, it's clear he still loves Bregman from their days in Houston. What I found interesting about this is Alex Cora mentioned the fact that with Rafael Devers, they're not going to change his position. We'll see how long that lasts, because he's unequivocally been a damaging defensive player, really, since he came into the big leagues. There was like a glimmer of hope a couple of years ago, but he's just not a great defensive player. But if they want to keep him at third, Cora says that he views Bregman as a middle infielder, so he can make a transition to second base. He's entering his 31-year-old season. One thing about the Sox, too, last year, as you know, struck out a ton, 28th in strikeout rate. And Bregman was 10th in strikeout rate over the last 3 seasons, 12.4%. His numbers were down a little bit last year, but it was essentially because he had a really slow start to the season. And then his final 398 plate appearances, 284 with an 837 OPS with 19 home runs. In that final 398, he had 7 home runs prior to that. You would take, 26 bombs from a second baseman that has an OPS just south of 800, always has hit well at Fenway. 98 plate appearances, 375 with a 1240 OPS, and he's still a really good defensive player. At third last year, 6 defensive runs saved, tied for 5th with Arenado and Jose Ramirez. I wasn't crazy about just like the money that you would have to pay a guy like Alex Bregman, but if Cora thinks he can play second base, which I trust his judgment, then I do think it'd be a good fit because it's a guy from the right side of the plate. The other one is Hernandez, who they could have had him last year. He wanted to be here. And I just think about it. I know Tyler O'Neill had a good season when he was on the field, but it's the durability with Hernandez, 160 and 154 games over the past 2 seasons. And last year, the OPS was 20th at 840. The barrel percentage was almost 15%. He was 10th in balls barreled up last year behind like a really good group. And you look at the Red Sox, this goes to Bregman and Hernandez. We know how left-handed dominant they were. 27th in plate appearances, just plate appearances from right-handed hitters, and 27th in hits. So it feels like the better fit now, just from a positional standpoint, would be Alex Bregman, but I really like what Hernandez can bring for a power perspective. If they can land any one of those guys, and of course they still need to add starting pitching, I would take either one of those guys. You put either Hernandez or Bregman in between your big lefties, and we're talking about Casas and we're talking about Rafael Devers, and all these guys, with the exception of Campbell, when you're looking at Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, all these guys hit from the left side except for Campbell. So it, like, in the pipeline, as great as the Red Sox prospect pool is, you need to get a right-handed hitter in here. I would love to have either one of those two guys.
What's the talk on Nolan Arenado? I don't know why. I know he's a great defensive third baseman, but
yeah, I mean,
just again, like you just said about Devers, Cora said it this week. He sees him at third baseman.
Yeah, the Arenado thing, it really doesn't make any sense to me based on he's going to be entering his 34-year-old season. And if you look at his numbers over the past couple of years, they keep going down. Last year, he slugged .394. I don't understand the interest whatsoever. I don't know if they think, hey, all of a sudden we'll get him in a Red Sox uniform and he'll start looking like the Nolan Arenado from a couple of years ago. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I see a guy that, quite frankly, is just sort of aging as a player at this point in time. Like, even if you look at some of his contact stuff, his hard hit rate was terrible last year, 31.7%, balls off the bat, 95 plus. The previous season, it's 38.1%. The year before that, it's 38.9%. I just think we're seeing an aging player that is not the guy that he once was. So I would much rather have, whether it's Hernandez or Bregman over Arenado, because I think there's real signs of decline with Arenado over the past few years.
All right, we're talking about Brian Barrett, he of The Ringer. I want to transition a little bit to the Celtics here. I thought the Bucks game was exciting. It was good. Then they play a back-to-back. They lose to Memphis. A lot of the talk's been about Drew Holiday and his struggles from three. I attribute it to the back-to-back. And I know that his three-point numbers are a little bit down this year, but is he the weak link? Is this where now other teams are going to let Drew Holiday try to beat them?
Well, I think it's a unique situation because I don't think a lot of teams can do what Memphis did in terms of just their strategy, because they do a really good job like recovering to all these other players on the team. But I've been talking about the Drew situation for a while now on my pod. And the fact that he took 26 shots, you got to tip your hat to the Grizzlies coaching staff. That was the strategy. I mean, he was 4 of 14 on wide open threes, which means the closest defender is at least 6 feet away. All his numbers across the board are down in terms of his shooting. Like his corner three-point percentage, he was one of the best corner three-point shooters in the league that last year, where he shot 60%. This year, you look at the numbers, that's at 30.6%. So he's gone from one of the best in the entire league to a guy that's well below average. Now, I think at some point he's going to find a shot. But my concern was this, like, if you go back to the summer and you look at the guys that played for Team USA, Derek White's been really good. Jason Tatum's been really good. But if you look across the league right now, Bam Adebayo, who's still a relatively young player, is down almost 4 points per game. LeBron James, I get it, he's 40. He's having a miserable shooting season. Kevin Durant's having an awesome season when he's on the court, but he's already been injured twice. Steph Curry's already dealt with an injury, and if you look at his volume, it's been down this season. There are Devin Booker starting to come on now. His beginning of the season, because he played a lot of minutes for Team USA, he was not very good. Look at Joel Embiid. Now, Booker's been better lately, but if you look at Joel Embiid, he's just getting back. He's dealing with all these injuries. He went there when he was dealing with an injury. Kawhi Leonard went there hurt. He still hasn't played. So my whole thing with Drew is just the fact that this is his 34-year-old season. The organization was giving him a long-term contract extension. He already had a gold medal. And I'm not criticizing Drew. Like, if you're Drew, you want to play for Team USA. He was a big part of the team in 2021 that won with Jason Tatum. I just didn't feel like it was the best idea after he just played 19 postseason games, played major minutes in those postseason games. I just felt like this is something that could come back to haunt the Celtics. And I think so far this season, we're seeing a little bit of it. And the good thing is Pritchard had just picked up the offense, but I think we'll see this from a couple of other teams. I don't know if Detroit will try it on Thursday night, but some of the elite teams in the league, nobody's stopping the Celtics offensively, right? I mean, you have to come up with different ways and different strategies. That's why going back to the finals last year, you wouldn't do it this year. I was like, why don't teams just go underneath screens on Tatum? Because he wasn't hitting shots. So you got to come up with these underdog strategies, and Memphis did. We'll see if Drew responds in the next game.
Yeah, I'm wondering about Drew Holiday's future and with the ascension of Peyton Pritchard. I know they're not the same players. I'd still take Drew right now over Peyton, but it's just one's hitting their shot, the other is struggling, but I think that will change over time. I just want to get a Belichick thought from you real quick. He met again today. If he'd want to make it some sort of developmental program to the NFL, do you think he's serious? And what percentage would you give it that he goes to North Carolina?
So I didn't really think it was that serious until we found out that it was a 5-hour meeting, and I saw his interview with McAfee today. He seemed like he was really interested in the position. And the only thing that I can the only logical conclusion that I can come to is I'm sure there's some interest on Belichick's part, but it's North Carolina. We're not talking about like Alabama or Texas, something along those lines. So the thing that I keep coming back to is I have to imagine after Belichick was fired last year by Robert Kraft, and of course we all know about the report where Kraft called the Falcons, that Belichick ends up without a job last offseason. And I wonder if he's looking around and he's worried that that situation could play itself out again going into next year. Like, we'll see what happens with the Eagles. I mean, it looks like they're going to be the number 2 seed. That's the one team that I thought like made a lot of sense. But like, is Jacksonville definitely going to hire him, right? If he didn't get hired last cycle, just because he's doing this media tour, is there a guarantee? So I think maybe he's looking at it from that perspective and saying, hey, let me at least get a job offer, right? Even if he doesn't take the North Carolina job, what if I'm offered this job? Maybe that shows NFL teams that like I'm ready to get back into the coaching landscape. I would hate it if he went to North Carolina just because I want to see him back in the NFL. Like I know he's not playing like Brady was playing, but that year where Brady, those 2 years where Brady was the first 2 years, not so much the third year, but the first 2 years when Brady was in Tampa, it was like we had 2 football teams. Of course, he had the return game, but we're always monitoring what Brady was doing. Like I want to monitor a Belichick situation. I also want to see him get his opportunity to try to chase down the wins record, but I do wonder if part of him is like, am I going to get an NFL job? So maybe that's part of why he's more open to the college thing. I know he says it's about like he gets to study both more now. I don't really buy that. I think part of it too is like what we found out from the meeting is he's looking to get his kid, he's looking to get Steve Belichick eventually a job, right? I'm sure that's not a sell point for NFL teams, but maybe if they're North Carolina football, they're like, wait, we can have you for a couple of years and we just have to agree to take on your son as the next head coach. I'm sure North Carolina football is like, I mean, we could do a lot worse than Bill Belichick.
All right, Brian, what else you guys get going on? I saw you had Bobby Manning on your pod this week.
Yeah, that was fun, just talking about the weekend. And I mean, you mentioned that game against the Bucks. The Jalen Giannis thing, I'm starting to think that's a real thing, where Jalen just absolutely despises Giannis. And I don't blame him. I mean, he called him a child after the last game. I would love to see those teams hook up in the playoffs because I give Doc Rivers credit. I think they've turned things around there a little bit. There's obviously a lot of holes the Celtics can poke at, and they haven't shot the ball. They didn't shoot the ball well at all in that game, and they were still able to beat Milwaukee. I love that Giannis took that stupid 3 at the end of the game. But yeah, I'm excited about the Celtics. I'm just right now, I don't know how you feel about the Red Sox. I'm just anxious. Like I feel they're going to get a pitcher and a position player. I'm just anxious. I want it to happen at this point in time. And I'm not blaming them that nothing's happened yet. Like the market now, I think is going to heat up after Soto, but I just want a relevant product, an exciting product to watch in 2025 because really, since Mookie Betts has left, the only year we've really had that was 2021. And even that year was kind of a surprise that the team was as good as it was.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm anxious. I just need them to do something so I don't crap on ownership anymore. Like, it's the easiest, laziest thing to do, right? Like, I'm not killing them for not being on the Soto thing. I think it's funny that they finished third, you know? And I don't know. Like, get 2 pitchers, and if they allocate the $50 million, I don't care who they get. Just allocate the money. That's where I'm at this point.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that has irritated me about the whole situation in terms of, I don't want to say like Red Sox Twitter, but people are so mad that I feel like, I don't know if you've had the same experience on social media, that it was even considered that they trade Tristan Casas. Like, people were really upset. Like, they called the Mariners about 2 of their young starters, like, reportedly, about a possible trade that would, like, Casas would be the headliner. And I love Casas as a player. Like, the guy is, when he's actually on the field, he's unbelievably productive. I love the way that he controls the strike zone and the power that he has. but he's played 132 games and 63 the past 2 years. So the fact that like they would be, hey, if you can get a young stud pitcher for Tristan Casas with all the talent you have at the position level coming up, I don't think it's the craziest thing. Like they just talked to another team about him. It's not like they were definitely trading him, but I feel like there's a segment of the Red Sox fan base that is so defensive on Casas, and this coming from somebody that really likes him. But I mean, if you can get something, you have a weakness in your, not just on your major league team, but in your farm system as it pertains to starting pitching. If you can get something for a guy that is frequently hurt when you have talent coming up behind him, I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world to talk to other teams about Casas.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second here. Do you know Drew Carter? I know you've had him on. Is he getting ripped for being the new? Like, I know it's hard to take over from Mike Gorman, but do you think he's being unfairly ripped for some of his commentary?
Yeah, I like Drew. I think he's good. What's the biggest like issue people have? You think that he's like
Pritch, please?
Oh, Pritch,
or 99 problems, but a Pritch ain't one. Even though Jay-Z's got 100 now, but that's a different story.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I like the whiteout though when he has the whiteout. I like that one. But yeah, Pritch, please. Yeah, I've caught that a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that one, but I think he clearly enjoys the gig, man. Like I think he's been really good, and I do like the back and forth that he has with Scal at times. And the other thing I do really enjoy about the broadcast is like the subtle Gary Washburn stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about the threes. I think Gary's in on the joke now. He must be, right? At this point,
they made an adjustment. Keep shooting. That's what Missoula said after the game. That's a good one. We'll see again. Hey, listen, we got some exciting games this week. We saw our loss, and it gives us something to talk about and monitor because I think we all agree it doesn't matter until the playoffs. And for all the people who hate that they shoot the three, well, they won a championship doing it like that last year. So I will stand on that one. He's Brian Barrett. He's of The Ringer. Check out his podcast and all his work. Brian, great job, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, thanks for having me, Joe.
You got it. He's Brian Barrett, everybody of The Ringer, joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. We'll take a look at your headlines now and here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, we got Monday Night Football. right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Thank Brian Barrett for joining us here. We got in or out coming up in a bit. We're going to bring intern Joey in because it's his last day. So we'll bring him in shortly. Celtics struggled the other night, 63s. You know, as much as everybody's getting on Drew Holiday, no one complimented him on his defense the night before or hitting some big shots against the Bucks. It was all just he stunk the night before. I put it on the back-to-back, not to mention their schedule. Now, this would be like me defending the team, right? But in reality, these are older players who don't play a lot of back-to-backs. So when
fifth game in 7 nights.
So when that happens, I blame the schedule. Am I able to do that, Skaz, after winning a championship?
You're allowed to do whatever you want, Joe. But
no, I know some people don't.
But I think if you look at Friday, maybe their best win of the year, playoff atmosphere. Your guy Peyton Pritchard with 0 points. Very convenient.
They didn't play him enough.
You weren't on the air that night.
Oh,
I'll
by
just
the way,
say
I
that.
had a lot of people be like, "Did you see Trae Young, Joe? Did you do player A?
31 and 20.
Yeah, I saw that. I still actually don't feel like an idiot for saying that.
Yeah, just convenient timing. That's all.
I was out. Didn't happen. If I didn't see it, did it happen?
No.
There you go.
But I think the difference in Friday and Saturday night is they shot 30% from three Saturday night, I believe. I think they shot 32% from three on Friday night, and they won. They went 14 of 16 from the line on Friday night, and on Saturday they went like 16 of 28 or 18 of 28, something like that. So hit your free throws would be my first thing.
What is up with that? If I was at practice, I would have them. I mean, they're not really running sprints at practice, but like, you got to work on your free throws, man. It's getting bad. It cost them games. And
I just think that this is a team where they've played so much basketball over the last couple of years, and especially when you talk about a guy like Drew Holiday, him, Derek White, and I know Tatum kind of have been playing basketball year round for the last year and a half, 2 years. So Saturday night's performance, Drew's performance didn't shock me so much as the Grizzlies' game plan and how they went about letting Drew Holiday shoot and Taylor Jenkins kind of forcing Joe Mazzulla. And Mazzulla even talked about it postgame. He didn't, so much as say is, we were out-coached, but he said they gave us a look we weren't ready for. I'm glad they did it. It gave us something to think about, and hopefully they adjust going forward. So you got a hungry Grizzlies team on Saturday, a perfect Marcus Smart game. He had like 2 points on 1 of 11 shooting. So, yeah, it was, not the best result for the Celtics, but I think one you can live with. They're 19-4, whatever it is. I'm not going to freak out over a early December loss.
Not freaking out. Don't even care if they're not in the NBA Cup.
Joe, I know you're bummed.
I don't care at all.
You love the NBA Cup.
We have full shows, and we get to play in or out. We'll welcome in intern Joey on his final night. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it going to be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days with a sporty new Civic, Accord, HR-V, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 Honda Accord or CR-V, a 4.9% APR on a 2025 Civic, and a 3.9% APR on a 2025 HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
Get more out of your vacation with Norwegian Cruise Line, where you have more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Book today and get free second guest, plus unlimited open bar and more with Norwegian's all-new More at Sea package. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Ships registry the Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Ryan from 128, and one of the things that keeps our customers coming back is our hassle-free guarantee. Good, hearty service from start to finish. Something any good service provider should do for their loyal customers. Consider us for your next project. Visit us online at call128.com.
In Imperial Cars year-end doorbuster clearance event is going on now. Don't miss huge discounts across our entire inventory of over 2,000 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. We have something for every budget. Take advantage of savings up to 15% off MSRP, 0 down leases, and interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, purchase now and get no payments for up to 3 months. Click ImperialCars.com or stop on by. Just look for the car in the sky.
Do you need new kitchen cabinets, or maybe you want to convert that old tub into a new elegant?
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is at the end when they try to pick them up. And it's like the whole, the bus of women. The only one that really gets me, is it the Duke one with the Speedo? Which one's the guy with the Speedo during basketball games? Yeah, I think hear it.
I've heard some of it. I don't think we can play it, but...
Oh, yeah, I don't know if we can play it. So, did you hear this, Joey?
I haven't heard it yet, no.
Do you know who Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre are?
Of course I do.
Okay, just making sure. They're making new music now.
Yeah, you've been hyping up their album for a while now.
Gin and Juice. What's it called, actually? I forget what it's called. Anyways, so I hear them flowing. The flow. And then all of a sudden, if you're in the chat, I will ask Joe questions. Those that don't have lettuce and it's a salad.
I'll like potato salad, yeah, I guess.
Taco salad, does it have to have lettuce?
Probably not. I mean, not saying I'd eat it, but probably doesn't qualify as a salad then.
Nickelback does sound like he's constipated, but I still think that Bruce Springsteen sounds more constipated. Like, Nickelback's like, but no,
Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head?
Wait, what's that line? I thought it was, what the hell did Bon Jovi say? Did he say, why are my eyes so red, and what is that on Joey's head? Did he really say that? I never knew that lyric. Is that why you like the song?
Yeah, my dad used to always play that song.
So did you and your dad used to get your eyes red and he would wonder what was on your head?
That's exactly how it went.
You know what? I know we have Doug Kyed coming up in a minute here. So send in your questions for Joe. I'll read them. We'll have them on later. But you ever notice every Nickelback song is like, dun, 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 they say that a hero can say, oh, dun, 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 it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. It's like everything is like a bum, 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 bum. Then they got that Superman movie, or was it Spider-Man? And then Josie Scott from Saliva was in it. Know him?
Can't say I do, no.
All right. Well, we'll play that one later. Because in the song, he says, I'm so high, I can see heaven. Because he's very high. Maybe the eyes red and the high is the same thing. Why am I talking to a college student about this? We got Doug Kyed from the Boston Herald coming up next. Joey will be back. Send in your questions. We'll talk to him later here on the Sports Hub.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
From the opening kickoff to the final play.
Touchdown!
Your home of the pass.
Yes.
98.5. The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Monday Night Football's on right now. Bengals are punting. No score. Headlines, they are brought to you by South Shore Bank at Beatles Bank. Sharing your success and growing your business is what above and beyond banking is all about. Happy holidays from South Shore Bank. I'm Brett Gacy. Stuff down our throat.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, all those bands, the new metal bands, but also all the ones that were just kind of emulating Pearl Jam as much as possible, I would say, like 10 years too late. But yeah, no, I liked Creed when they first came out, but then kind of moved off that style of music pretty quickly.
Yeah, my Own Prison was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Theory of a Dead Man, 3 Days Grace, Puddle of Mud, Chevelle, Breaking Benjamin. Am I missing any?
No, I think, yeah, you hit it pretty well there. Yeah,
Shinedown. They were.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Shinedown, what is going on with Bill Belichick considering college football over the NFL, and are you buying it?
It's pretty wild. I think that it's got to mean that he just sees the writing on the wall that there's not going to be an NFL opportunity up there for him. Because, like, if he truly believed that he could get the Jaguars job or the Saints or any of these teams that are out there, obviously the Jaguars job not open right now, but we all expect that to be, then you would think that he wouldn't be so gung-ho about this. But it really does seem like he doesn't want to get left out again the way that he did last year. So he's got to go all in on any opportunity that he can get. But it really is bizarre. And obviously maybe the fact that he wanted to, break Shula's record, maybe that's a little bit overblown. Or maybe it was a big deal to him, but now he just has no other choice, and he thinks that he can get this UNC job and get back on the sideline. But I think, if anything, my main takeaway is that he can't feel good about the NFL jobs and the ones that could potentially open this year.
So, when you look at the potential open jobs, right? Who's a coach right now, or who I guess sat out this year that could be a coach? And I still think Vrabel's on the table for Ohio State if Ryan Day happens to get canned or not go far. Like if Belichick's going to start that domino, why not Mike Vrabel to Ohio State? Just why not that to somebody else? Deion Sanders could be somebody that's in college that could go to the NFL. But were there anybody that was fired this year, or could Robert Saleh be a head coach next year? Right? Like I do feel like Belichick's options. Maybe that's the way he's looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for someone like Vrabel, like if Vrabel wants to stick in the NFL, he could probably sit out a couple of years and still regain that NFL job. Maybe like be an assistant again next year or whatever it is, or maybe be a defensive coordinator. But obviously time just isn't really on Bill Belichick's side. So I think that that's maybe why he could turn to college. But like, I don't know, a guy like Ron Rivera, like if he still wants to coach, maybe he could go the college route, since I certainly don't see him getting another NFL opportunity. Maybe he goes like the assistant route or something like that. But I don't know, if I'm Vrabel, just with the way that college is these days, and I mean, even with Bill, like it just doesn't seem like that attractive of a job to go to a college program when, I mean, for Bill, like his main thing is, telling guys that other people can do it better and being hard on people and, treating every single player the same, whether they're Tom Brady or someone else. Like that's not necessarily going to work in college. You can't treat a walk-on like the guy that you're paying $1 million to on an NIL deal, because the way to recruit that guy was to tell them how great they are and to tell them that they can get all these opportunities. So I really am curious if this does happen to see how we can recruit and how we can keep players in the program beyond just saying like, I'm Bill Belichick, I'm going to give you the best chance to make the NFL, because if a player's good, he's going to make the NFL out of any college.
All right, we're talking with Doug Kyed. He's of the Boston Herald. Doug, Gerard Mayo has confidence in himself, but when he was asked about his future, or if he's directly been told, will he be back next year, didn't really answer that. I mean, could they lose 7 in a row and he comes back next year?
I mean, I still expect him back. I think that it would probably depend on like how bad the losses were. But I would say that I certainly expect him back, and everyone else kind of expects him back. And I think that it would be a bad look to fire your head coach after a year, fire a GM after a year. I think you've got to give it a little bit more time than that. But I did think that he probably like answered questions a little bit better today, even just the non-answer on whether or not Robert Kraft has told him whether he's going to be back. Like whether he has or not, I do think that handling that question that way was probably the best way that he could handle it. So maybe at least the week off, the bye week, did Gerard Mayo well from a media perspective.
I just feel like every time he talks about he'll be better next year, I just feel like I don't like that. Like how do you know? Like again, they have Arizona this week, which by the way I think is a winnable game, but it could be the get right game for the Cardinals. I don't see them beating Buffalo, and I don't see them beating the Chargers. So, finish your season 1-7 with one home win. Like that's not good. And I know people want to say, oh well, you inherited a team with whatever, but I mean, this team should have been better than what it was, and clearly looks like it has a coaching mismatch each week.
I don't love the "I'll be better next year" answer either, and primarily because it's like, well, why aren't you better now? Why didn't you improve during the season? Well, like, what is it that you want to improve? Because if you want to improve it, just improve it now. And that is a question that I do want to ask on Wednesday is like, okay, so what do you want to improve? What do you specifically want to improve next season? Because I think that that'll also give you a good tell of like, all right, what does he think some of his weaknesses are? And then obviously the follow-up question would be, why don't you try to improve those now? But obviously anyone's better once they get more experience in a job. But I do agree with you that it's not the best way to look at it. Just like, no, I'll be better next year. Like, well, be better now, I guess.
I happened to look up. There were 39 first-time head coaches in their rookie season that had essentially 2 or fewer wins. I know he has 3 wins, but I wanted to 2 or fewer wins to end their final 8 games is where I'm going here.
Okay.
Dayball
defense. If all those parts can start playing together, if they can all get on the same page, if they can all start playing smart football like they did for so many years under Bill Belichick, then I do think that that's one place that they could really improve. Because it's not a talent issue. I do think it's a coaching issue. I think it's a focus issue. And I think that it's some guys not being fully bought in or playing for themselves. So that is an element. That is one place where they have the talent. They've got the skill to improve there. It's just about pulling it all together. And then the other element is just the offensive line. I do think that, no one wants to hear that much about the offensive line, but Caden Wallace is back. He's a rookie they drafted in the 3rd round. His natural position from college was at right tackle. If he can actually get back on the field, maybe it's not even an improvement, but just like whether or not you have that guy next year. Because if Caden Wallace plays well over the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, it would just be such a huge lift off the Patriots' shoulders to go into the offseason only needing a starting left tackle rather than 2 starting tackles.
All right, Doug, before I let you go, we just did some in or outs. Are you in or out on the fake Christmas tree?
I am personally out. We had one last year. It's not the same. I like going to the stand. I like getting the Christmas tree. So I'm out on the fake Christmas tree.
All right, and you went to the Magic of Lights as well?
I did go to the Magic of Lights. My 7-year-old really enjoyed it. Longer than I thought it was going to be. So it was fun, yeah.
And did they play Christmas carols, or did you play? Oh, they give you a station, right, to play on? Is that what it is?
Yep. They give you a radio station. You put it on, and you go along with the Christmas songs playing. So, yeah, nice little interactive element there.
It was something we were working on the night show. As Joe sings the Christmas hits, like a Murray Christmas,
Oh, very Merry Christmas! I like that.
Maybe we could get that in the radios there at Gillette.
There we go. That would be huge. Then you could have a light display too, because they have like awesome. A Barbie one at the end, so it could be Joe Murray.
Yeah, you could have a big Joe show head, just a big head.
The kids
of Joe.
would love that. They're not coming for Barbie; they're coming for Joe.
They would love that. You know what I could do is I have these stickers that don't have eyes. Maybe all the kids could draw stuff on my face after. That'd be cool.
Oh, that's good too.
And whoever has the best one can do a bit in studio.
I like this. We're workshopping here. I think we got something here for sure.
I hope people are listening. Sponsorship opportunities are
Gillette
available.
Stadium.
That's right.
Get in contact.
All right, Doug. Well, I'm interested this week to see what the Patriots can do. I personally think the Cardinals bounce back, but I thought T. Higgins scored a touchdown, which I'm not sure if you're reading. Maybe I'm just seeing it, but it sounds like the Patriots are very, very high on T. Higgins.
I certainly would not be surprised by that because they are. I mean, he's the number 1 wide receiver out there. He's, he would certainly help quite a bit and solve one of their biggest issues on the team, get an ex-wide receiver in there. So, if they could bring him in, and I think I've said this before, but I know that everyone wants Drake May to be that guy who can bring free agents in, and I think it's possible. And I think that Austin Hooper was saying today that he would like to. Keep playing with Drake May. Everyone watches football. Everyone watches the good quarterbacks. The best thing that could happen over the last 4 weeks of the season here is for Drake May to be on all of those QB guru Twitters, like Dan Orlovsky praising him, Chase Daniel, all these guys who get retweeted. These are the things that the players are seeing these days. If Drake May can put together those spectacular plays and have all those QB gurus tweeting about him, I think you've got a better chance of getting a guy like T. Higgins in here.
All right, he's Doug Kyed, everybody. Check out his work over at the Boston Herald. He does a podcast as well. Doug, appreciate you, my man. If I don't talk to you before the holidays, happy holiday to you, sir.
Absolutely. You too. Happy holidays, Joe.
You got it. He's Doug Kyed, everyone. Boston Herald does an excellent job over there and also knows a little bit about music and a little bit about fake Christmas trees, which he's out on now. All right, we'll get to the headlines. I'm Joe Murray.
Sports.
Sports Hub. Got the musings coming up shortly. It's intern Joey's last night. We're gonna bring him back in. I'm gonna come up with more questions. I got a couple of ones that I can't ask you on the air. Yeah, I know. It stinks. I know. I got to go to my buddy Justin. He's been waiting on hold. I'm sorry, Justin.
Hey, Joe, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Juan Soto should not get $765 million. And I also feel like there should be a cap on contracts in baseball. Can I have your thoughts?
What would the cap be, Justin?
I feel like there should be cap on the length of contract that people get in baseball.
Okay,
Can I have your thoughts on that?
How long?
I believe they should have 8 years.
8 years tops?
Max, yes. Not 15.
I think it would make the game more entertaining, don't you?
Yes, I do too. I do too, Joe.
Hey, do you like the Simpsons broadcast or no?
No.
Nah.
No.
What are you watching right now?
I'm watching you, Joe.
You're watching me?
Yes, on YouTube. I got you connected to my TV.
All right. How do I look?
Yes.
I look handsome?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You know what, Justin? I'm going to put that one in. Shorter contracts in baseball.
Yes.
All right, buddy. You have yourself a
Thank
good
you,
night,
Joe.
man. Thank you, sir. Shorter contracts in baseball. What do we think about that? Do you care? No, I think it's a legitimate bring to the table discussion.
So they just re-sign him again 8 years from now for...
What happens if he's unhappy?
Well, then he needs an opt-out or something.
Well, he has one.
And the Mets can override that and pay him $5 more million a year and give him $55 million a year.
True.
I have no problem with the rich being the rich in baseball. All the owners are billionaires. They all make hundreds of millions of dollars every year in TV money. If you're a fan of the A's and your owner is a cheap SOB, I'm sorry that's where you were born or that's who you're a fan of, but that's how it goes. If you have a good owner, your team is good. If your owner cares, your team is really good. If they don't, you're the Browns, you're the Oakland A's. That's how it goes. And even if there was 8 year, you want to put a cap on it, 8 years. The Oakland Athletics, whatever they are going to be, the Vegas A's, whatever you want to call them, they're still not ponying up that money. So you're not making it an even playing field. Those teams the Tampa Bay Rays are still not going to spend $800 million on a guy. They're just not going to do it because of the ownership. So I don't think it's about the owners wanting a more level playing field. The Oakland A's make the same amount of money on the TV deal that the New York Mets do. So to me, it's just you're looking for a solution that I just don't think it exists.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. Someone said I look like Drewski, the actor, the comedian.
I like Drewski.
Do I look like him?
Him and Roll Tide Willie probably had a tough weekend, but
I don't think I look like him.
I'm not.
I don't have hair.
I'm not that familiar
blonde
with
hair.
Drewski.
Is it because he's big?
The only guy I've ever seen you really look like, Joe, is that chef on Instagram there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that guy. I do look like Uncle Phil when I smile.
I can see that.
I get that one a lot. And Dom DeLuise, which... You know, I saw someone the other day reminded me of you. Who was it? Oh, what was it? Oh, it was you. What was I watching? It looked like Skaz. I kept saying it. I'm like, this guy looks like Skaz. Do you have a doppelganger?
No, I don't think so. I've gotten a couple, but nothing.
Sometimes you remind me of that guy. I probably told you this before, but you remind me of the kid, Josh Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, Joe, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why you remind me of him. I don't know why. Is that weird?
No, I'll take it. No, that's a good one. He's good in the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, Robin. Okay. Well, we have the musings coming up next. I have a lot to talk about. And then Joe the intern is going to be here the rest of the night after that. It's going to be fun. Right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Hammery's Musings here on 98.5. I was told the new update is not good. Anybody updated their phone? How is it, Skaz? In or out on the new update, bro?
Honestly, I don't notice a major difference. The texting, I guess, the
yes.
like icons
you
are
used
a
to
little
be
different.
able to. So, like, for example, if you sent me something, I could click on your name on my text, and it would show all the attachments you and I have ever exchanged. That new upgrade eliminated that.
I think people have a big issues with the photos. It does something to your photos as well. But
that too.
I'm not a big
you can't find
guy.
photos that you shared with people. Arnold Palmer, iced tea lemonade. I get it with the unsweetened iced tea to take over the lemonade taste. And so I want to say it was like $2.34 or something, and I gave $3. Now, most of the time I'll just give $3 and bounce, but I really wanted the quarters because I keep my change in my door in case you ever need like change, you know. But I wanted the quarters. And when they gave me the change, they dropped it on the ground. So, like, it got in my hand, but it was like a fumble, like a bad handoff, you know? So, it's raining out. It made a mistake. And you could send someone out here to get it because they get paid to do that. Could you give me eliminating a problem and not being able to deal with anything? I just said, I don't have the patience for this. But I want you to know that I'm pissed off about this one. So, I ask everyone this question. When you go to a drive-thru and they fumble the change, should they give you your correct change, or do you get out of the car and get it? Because, listen, it's not really the widest of a way, and I'm a pretty big guy. So, like, I'm getting out of... I went to the drive-thru so I don't have to get out of my car! Oh, now it's really starting to dig in, Skaz. I said this to you when I first got in today. I asked you guys this question. Skaz, you said... What did you say?
I'm not getting out of my car for change. Especially on a day like today, it's just not happening. That's a couple dollar bills. All right, different story.
I even did a nice thing. I shut my wipers off at the drive-thru. Some people don't do that. Remember, what was the wiper noise we had earlier? I don't know if you still have that. But, like, you know, it's not nice to put wipers on when you're at the damn drive-thru. So I shut mine off so they wouldn't get splatted. Yeah, that noise. Annoying as hell. Just tell the guy to shut off his wipers. Anyways, I want my change, damn it. And I shouldn't have to get out of the car for it. Am I right or wrong? Shouldn't they have like a tax? Not a tax. They should have like a juice, like, or a VIG for dropping change.
The customer's always right, Joe.
Yes! Imagine telling me I need to get out of the car to pick up my own change when they fumbled it. But they should give me the correct change and not fumble it. You know what I like about going to CVS? Like if you pick up a prescription, they have a little basket. So you'll put your card in the basket, and then they'll give you everything in your. It's all supported in a nice little basket. There's no hand exchanges, no nothing. It just goes in a basket. Should we have remember when you went to the bank and you used to go to the bank and put your checks in that thing, and then it went kind of like in Tommy Boy? Remember when she just do everything through the chute? Why can't we have one of those? I know. You just give him his change and you move on. A lot going on in New York and New Jersey last night. Obviously, the Juan Soto stuff was pretty big. You probably heard about that. But, but before I get to that, a car went into the water in Charlestown yesterday. Boston police said it went off a boat ramp near Terminal Street. How the hell does a car just fall into the water in Charlestown? There's a damn Navy base out there. I don't understand that one. Getting back to the aliens, though. More mysterious things spotted over New Jersey. And they're just pacing back and forth. Government officials assured Garden State residents that there's nothing to fear. There was footage captured by a New Jersey mom shows blinking lights buzzing over Bergen County on Sunday night. They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow, the mom said. It doesn't sound like a plane. No, it's too quiet. That's a drone, she said, adding that she counted 5 or 6 flying machines hovering overhead. The spat of drone sightings across New Jersey has raised alarms amongst locals. It's been happening for weeks, and they've posted countless videos of the unidentified aircraft to social media and left local officials scratching their heads. The sightings continue, but Governor Phil Murphy said residents need not worry. There's a drone pose. No one's a threat to the public at this time. At this time! At this time! I think what you're seeing is, first of all, no answers. Whatever the governor put, it was a non-answer. And it didn't make me feel any better, says a local person. I agree. I don't feel good. They're flying low. They're not up high like an airplane. They're flying low. You can see them, and they're large, and they're huge, and they're not hobby drones. People are outraged. 3 weeks, no answers. The feds have said they're looking into the mysterious sightings that began on November 18th. So since November 18th, Skaz, there has been flying lights in New Jersey. But there's nothing to worry about here. Nothing to see here. An FBI spokesperson said, we're doing all we can to figure it out. Now there's conspiracy theorists all over the place trying to plug the gaps. Some say criminals are using the drones to case houses for future robberies, while others say they might be the eyes and ears of terrorists. Others say it could be foreign nations controlling devices. Some go off the deep end and completely claim aliens have engineered the whole thing. Cops haven't commented on the slew of silliness. A professor who directs the Advanced Air Mobility Lab in New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark told the outlet those explanations are unlikely. If the drones had a nefarious purpose, they probably wouldn't be so loud and visible. It takes an incredible amount of competence to do something nefarious with drones. I don't think these are drones. I don't know if they are aliens. But what the hell is going on? Our last day is, well, really, the 19th is both of our last days.
Next Wednesday, I believe, will be our last full. That'll be a Christmas show, I'll say, or a
next
holiday
Wednesday?
show.
Of a holiday show?
Yeah, why not?
Can I sing Christmas carols?
Of course.
I have a couple of favorites. What about you?
Oh, yeah. I got a couple in mind. I think a Very Merry Christmas would be a perfect fit for.
Okay. Birthdays. Where do we start tonight? Who's the oldest? What do we do? Let's start with Judi Dench, 90 years old today. Wow. Bo Bridges, 83 years old today. Wow. John Malkovich, 71 years old today. Donny Osmond, 67 years old today. Jacob Dylan, 55 years old today. Simon Heilberg, 44 years old today. This is where things get a little bit tougher.
Joe, it is Kurt Angle's 56th birthday.
He won a championship with a broken... He won in the gold medal with a broken... Oh, jeez. Not a lot going on here today, guys.
Joe, it is Felicity Huffman's 62nd birthday.
Hi, Felicity. Kirk Douglas's birthday, but he's dead. But happy dead birthday.
Dick Butkus as well, his birthday. R.I.P. as well.
Felicity Huffman.
Red Fox, also R.I.P.
Oh, really?
Local guy, Tip O'Neill.
Yes, that's what the tunnel was.
Yes.
The Tip O'Neill tunnel. Oh, that Michaela Maroney girl. Remember her with the resting bitch face?
The smirk, right?
The smirk, yeah.
Yes.
She's only 29.
It's crazy. The Olympic gymnasts, go to the Olympics when they're like 15.
All right. Well, that's it. We might have a special guest calling in shortly. We'll go to break. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
From the opening kickoff to the final play.
Touchdown!
Your home of the past. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Monday Night Football, Cowboys lead the Bengals 10-7 right now. Still waiting on anything that's going on with Bill Belichick. Pro Bowl, Bryce Behringer still in the lead for punters. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update soon.
Boston, the greatest sports town in America.
We have a farm. I have about 200 pigs here.
We got to spill beers on each other without worrying about spilling beers on people.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Grandma Leaper. We have someone else on the line who's got a shout out. Hello.
Hi, how are you? This is Mimi from from Malden.
Mimi from Malden.
Yeah, this is Sarko's wife, actually.
Oh my God, dude, we love we love Sarko.
Well, he's with me right now. We're cleaning the office, but I know he's listening, so I didn't want him to hear me, so I walked away. But I wanted to wish him a happy birthday. His birthday was on the 5th. He turned 50.
Sarko turned 50?
Yes. He looks young though, but he turned 50. But the thing is that
we love Sarko.
He's a great person. I love him. I love him so much. So I just wanted to say happy birthday to him.
What a great shout out, Mimi. He's gonna love
that. Thank you. So I'm hiding, so I'm just gonna hang up before he sees me.
Real quick, what is Sarko like? What's his what was his meal of choice for his birthday?
We had steak. We had steak. He loves steak. But yeah, I mean, I cook a lot, so usually whatever I'm making.
What kind of cake?
He likes. He wanted a carrot cake, but it ended up going wrong. We did not get the cake he wanted. So
where would you get a cake in Malden?
We do Lombardo's usually.
Oh yes, great place.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I go to Dom's. My buddy Dom is in Malden. If you've ever been there, very good.
I have been there several times. Yeah, all my friends go there. A lot of police officers I know they eat there. Thing is that Dom's, I didn't know they even had cakes.
I don't know, but you know what? I might hit them up for one. No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think. You might have to go to Medford for a cake. Lakash's? I don't know if you've been there.
Exactly. Something like that. Yeah. Because I haven't seen anything. And Dom's has a good steak chips, though.
Oh, he does. It's the best. And it's funny. We were all out in the house. We were all asking the guys what's their favorite cake. And Skaz said his favorite was carrot cake. And Sarko.
Yeah, that's his favorite is carrot cake. As far as I know, he likes strawberry shortcake also, but carrot cake is one of his favorites.
So he listens all the time, and you wanted to give him a shout out?
He does, and I do too. Oh,
honestly. You listen?
I do, yeah.
What's your favorite show on the station?
Yours.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I try to talk about
yours,
a lot of things.
Real. Yeah, no, you're real. You're really relatable, you know.
That's right. I'm from Hyde Park.
Exactly. I'm from Dorchester.
All right. Not far away. Which part?
I used to live on Elm Hill Ave.
Elm Hill, okay. So Leroy, who I work with, is from Grove Hall, along with Cerrone Battle, who also works here as well.
Yeah, I moved when I was much younger, and then I moved to Malden. I've been here for a long time, so.
Well, you tell Sarko we all said happy birthday from the night show.
I will.
Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate you.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a nice Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Look at that.
Shout out Sarko. Happy birthday.
Sarko. What do you think he's doing right now? Do you think he's in another room being like, yo, is that my wife?
Probably thought he was in trouble for a second.
He's going to call in. I watch. Hey, yo, Joe, man. Joe, man. That was so cool. That was awesome, man. Yeah. Oh, he jumped in the Salvation Army Bowl.
He did the Zeke.
I wish I could have bet on that. I'm watching the football game. I actually don't care about this game at all. Normally, I'm locked in. I got player prop, nothing. I have no juice in this game at all. Is that a touchdown? He hit the pylon. Boom. Touchdown. Lock it up. All right, well, it's our intern Joey's last night. I asked Bird to call in. Because Bird's watching the Simpsons broadcast. And he told me that he couldn't communicate. And I said, that's exactly why you should call in. Let's see if he responds back to me. Nope. I did ask him, though. I said, dude, you got to call in about The Simpsons. And he's like, I can't communicate right now. And I said, yes, you should.
Joe, would you like an update from the winter meetings?
We should get a sounder.
It is not breaking news, but our friend had him on the show last week. Chris Cotillo tweeted moments ago that one Theo Epstein is in attendance with Sam Kennedy. Ooh. That gets you fired up, doesn't it, Joe?
I think the only thing that's fired me up tonight was the person who asked me to get my own change.
Tyler Milliken has quote tweeted that tweet with, "It's time to make some noise."
So is the okay. Goes back to we'll bring Joey in for this one. Because I want them to make moves, but can they? Is that guy Breslow capable? I don't know Theo is. We'll do a little bit of that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more. Walker and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
I saw them live. Did you know that? Turn your microphone on. There we go.
Here we go.
All right, Joe's high up now. I can see him.
Yeah.
So
More visible.
Joey Medeiros, everybody. That's his name. Portuguese descent from what town?
Fairhaven, Massachusetts, right next to New Bedford.
Next to New Bedford. And would you say soccer is your favorite sport?
100%.
How did you end up liking soccer?
Well, my grandfather just loves watching it. So ever since I grew up, I've been watching and listening, everything.
And do you play it?
Yep.
What position do you play?
I'm a defender, outside back.
Tough weekend for Joey's Spurs this weekend. I know he's a big Tottenham guy. They had a pretty embarrassing loss this weekend
against Skaz's team. Just so happens, huh?
Yeah, Cole Palmer.
Is that what you guys do back there?
Joe's big thing tonight is he thinks Joe Burrow should be on the. What was it, Joe? You think he should be All Pro?
Yeah, 100%. All Pro, Pro Bowl.
I'm not against that. Are you?
His team's 4-8 though.
Yeah, but I bet you if you look this up, how many teams that are 4-8 have a guy who's with his kind of numbers?
30-5 touchdown to interception ratio. I'm not saying his numbers aren't good. I just think that's a tough spot for a guy with that record to be in.
What I mean, exactly. Which, not for nothing, if we shift this to make it, this is what we do, Joe, on the radio. How do we bring a story that nationally is being talked about and spin it locally, right? Could that happen to Drake May?
The way that this defense is playing, 100%. 100%. This defense has fallen off ever since Drake May's gotten the start.
So Joe Burrow obviously was the number one pick, won a national championship, and went to the Bengals of all organizations. And really, they built that thing up, right? Jamar Chase, who played with him in college. T. Higgins really turned out to be, who's the third receiver that they had recently, who just got a free agent
Trent
deal?
Irwin.
Tyler Boyd?
Boyd, yeah, Boyd. But, I mean, I think what they lost was their edge. And I think Joe Mixon was a big part of their edge. And I don't think Zach Taylor's a bad coach. I just think that when you have an elite talent, you need a guy who knows how to manage the ego. And I'm not saying Joe Burrow has an ego, but don't you have to cater to stars? So I'll bring this up. Do you think Gerard Mayo can cater to Drake May?
I mean, I don't know. It's going to depend on this free agency, what he can do.
Have they failed Drake May this year, the coaching staff?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
So then why go with the same coaching staff next year when you have money in accounts?
It's a good question.
There you go, Joe. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Oh, not whatever bucks they give us at night. But for it, could Drake May be the next Joe Burrow? That would be horrible for the organization. And it would be Robert Kraft's fault again, because why? He put Mayo in charge. So do you think they lose the next 4 games?
Probably. I mean, 2 times against the Bills. They're looking really good. I can see 2 losses there. Jim Harbaugh is going to out-coach the heck out of Gerard Mayo in there. I mean, the only one...
Who's going to out-coach? Who? Oh, wait, who are you talking about?
Harbaugh.
Okay, that's one game. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
The Bills twice.
McDermott's not the greatest coach, but their talent alone.
Josh Allen.
And then who's the coach? Is it former offensive coordinator there for the Eagles there? Why am I blanking on
Gannon?
Gannon or Mayo? Probably Gannon, because he's been a coordinator.
Yep.
It's frustrating. Watch this team, the Bengals. Watch this guy sling. Joe Burrow in motion. Back to pass. Minute and 50 to go. Up 14-10. They're out of the shotgun, and they're approaching the 50-yard line on a 1st and 10. And he just goes back to pass, and he slings one over the middle for Jamar Chase, who gets a first down. But they're 4-8. It's just, I don't think I could watch that next year.
The amount of 30-point games their offense has that they've lost, it's pretty crazy.
I agree. All right, Joe, you want to take some calls?
Sure.
We got Steve in Miami. Welcome to Miami. How are you, bud?
Well, thank you. Actually, for you, welcome to Miami.
That's right. Whereabouts are you in Miami?
A place called Miami Lakes, which is northwest Dade County.
I love that area.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the only place in Miami I would want. It's too much traffic in if you know Miami, Aventura area and Coral Gables. Here it's nice. In fact, when I first moved here, my neighbors were cows, and I wish they were still because they don't drive. And that was great. Yeah. Well, I had easily to get ham and eggs in the morning. Bad joke. But great show. I got to tell you, first of all, disappointed, yet I'm not disappointed that they didn't sign Soto. I mean, I will spend it on Soto to go after both Vernon and also Fried, whatever his name is, as well as Hernandez. And if they don't take the bull by the horn and get at least one, if not two of them, then once again, full throttle means nothing. And people will be more upset because they made it seem like they were going all out, and they should just go out and put the money that they were going to use for Soto and put it on the table and say, here, we're going to give you this. And also, the other thing is, I'll be upset if they trade Cassis. I think he could, if he wasn't hurt this year, he might have been a 30 home run guy. And you don't have Devers going over to the first base because you need a better solid defender at first base than what I think Devers could learn because he has never played that position. So I think that would be a bad mistake. If you're going to trade lefty, and although he had a very good rookie year, I would say Abreu, because if you sign Hernandez, you have an extra outfielder you can trade, but you don't have an extra first baseman.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you, buddy. He's excited. So, Joe, no Juan Soto. Say it ain't so-o-to. Do you think they're going to spend under $50 million this year in free agency?
Ooh.
Because they would have paid 50 plus for Soto.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think a very good point that was made is the Red Sox wanted to be at third because it just looks good. And that doesn't surprise me. I don't think they want to spend the money. I don't think the organization wants to put the money forward. I think they trust their farm system a little bit too much.
So, like, if he just mentioned Max Fried, I think the Yankees are going to sign Max Fried. They lose Soto, right? So what do they have to do? They have to get better pitching now because they have to be stronger. If they're going to lose one of the best hitters in the game, you got to be stronger somewhere else. Plus, you have to beat out the other teams that need pitching, right? So, although the Soto thing didn't work in the Patriots' favor, in the Red Sox' favor, now the Dodgers are back on the clock, right? With Hernandez. Now the Yankees are open to deals. Like, teams are spending. The A's spent money this offseason. They don't even have a home. Anyways, do you think Theo Epstein will make an impact? And where I'm going with this is I don't believe that Craig Breslow can make deals. He wants to make deals. He says he wants to make deals. I wonder if Theo is there to help make deals. Thoughts?
I mean, baseball's not my first sport, but
doesn't matter.
I'm hoping.
Do you think Theo's coming in there to wheel and deal?
Hopefully.
What else is he doing there?
I'm going to trust him.
He likes the coffee? What? I think that he needs to be there to represent people that the Red Sox are. Hey, listen, Craig's got you guys under control. I'm just here to let you know. Down, hey, Jamie.
Hey, just real quick. I don't think the coaching is failing Drake May. I don't think they had the intention of putting him in. I guess we all saw the writing on the wall that Brissett wasn't going to last the whole year.
Hey,
but
Jamie, real quick, when I said the Patriots have failed Drake May, they have failed Drake May in wins this year.
Oh, as far as like getting behind him and win, yeah, there was a lot of close games.
When you score a touchdown and you're on the road, you go for two. Don't kick the field goal and don't even give your quarterback a chance. How about last week? Why are they taking the ball out of Drake May's hands? They're failing.
I don't know. That's
what I mean.
Maybe they don't want him as trade bait or something. Maybe they don't want him to go somewhere else. I don't know. But I don't think they had the intention of playing him from the start. And They didn't. I mean, think about it. Tom Brady came into a Bill Belichick coach program, and this is Gerard Mayo's first year. You can't expect him to work miracles, and he will make mistakes like not going for 2. So hopefully he figures it out by the end of the year. But
hopefully,
I don't.
They lose 4 straight and then lose 7 straight, and they finish the year 3-14.
No, you're right. You're right.
Want to bring that guy back?
No, not at all. He's not a coach. He's a great guy, not a coach.
But this is what I mean. He could be Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, too, because Boston coaches are usually hard-nosed against their teams. Like, go look back at the Bruins just fired their coach because he kind of let them do what they wanted last year, and now it didn't work out this year because there's no discipline. Everything starts with discipline in the locker room.
All right, buddy. By the way, real quick, what do you think of the Bruins? They had, I think something was up with. I think Montgomery had a side deal. I don't have any information on this. It's just me,
They're looking better.
Nighttime Joe just starting rumors. I think Montgomery knew his worth on the open market and knew he couldn't get it in Boston because they didn't respect him. So he tanked. Was mean to all the big players, calling them all out. Once he's gone, what happens? A little something to that. I do think the Patriots need a hard-nosed coach. I do. Yeah. Look at Jalen Polk this year. You mean to tell me that guy couldn't use a hard-nosed coach?
100%.
Who else could use a hard-nosed coach?
Ooh. A couple of guys on the defense. I think
Kyle Duggar.
He
sucks this year. Know what I hate? Is when you have nothing to play for and you settle for field goals. Right? Both these teams suck. Why are we settling for field goals?
Field goals don't win games. You're right there.
Except for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on there?
Chiefs are a really good team. I mean, they're super disciplined. I don't know. 15 straight one-score games, though.
Well, your boy Ryan Bell is in the chat.
Really? I don't have it pulled up.
A Syracuse legend checking in. He says, hi, guys. Congrats, intern Joe.
Thank you, Ryan Bell.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to get to the headlines here. And then I'm going to leave it open to the public. Chat, you want to ask Joey a question? If you're out there and you want to ask any question, this is the time to do so. It's intern Joey Medeiros' last night, Dean student. We'll get to the headlines here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Monday Night Football. Bengals, they lead the Cowboys 17-10 right now, just before halftime. Cowboys trying to make a little bit of a run here and late. Not much else going on. Theo Epstein. And we got our intern, Joey Medeiros here.
Last time on.
What was your favorite part about the internship?
Probably answering some of these calls. They're pretty funny, especially when we get into these later end segments. Definitely one of the more interesting parts.
So, like the crowd and the audience and the culture.
Yeah, there's some great people in the crowd. Pretty funny stuff said.
What have you learned?
For one, how to ad-lib. We were just talking about that. Learned a little bit more how to ad-lib. Create graphics, write articles. Got a lot better at that stuff.
Takes. The one thing I think we tried to work with you about was what's a current news story and what's not. You know, like, for example, like we started tonight with Juan Soto, and it's still a big topic, but like once we hit on it, what we do at night is we try to find like the niche, right? Like a different, everyone's talked all day, right? Felger and Maz put their narrative on everything. Beetle and Zoe just talk about the stories, and you know, Fred and Friends just, they have like segments set, you know what I'm saying? Here at night, it's like, all right, what's the leadoff story? Where are we going to go next? All right, what do you want to do? When should we do this? When? Here? Why? So I'm sure you probably have learned that. How to adjust, how to pivot, how to do all that stuff. Okay. I know, I'm getting boring now. Someone emailed me and asked this one. This is from Bill Burns. What's your favorite pizza? As in what toppings and what pizza joint makes it bonus? Did Joe just make a big O? Like, oh.
Okay, favorite pizza, Galaxy Pizza. It's a local pizza place where I'm from.
Fairhaven?
Yeah, Fairhaven. Toppings, linguiça.
Oh, I love linguiça. It's Portuguese. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I used to go out to the Bridgewater State area, that's when I got pizza in that area. It was always linguiça, baby.
Great.
Oh, yeah. See, the guy wanted me to moan. So I did. We got people in the chat that have questions. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, Joey?
Ooh. Where do I see myself in 10 years? Coaching soccer, for one.
You'll be 31 years old.
Yeah. Hopefully coaching somewhere big. It'd be nice.
He wants to be a coach.
Yeah. And maybe doing social media for the Patriots, Revs, one of those teams. That'd be pretty fun.
What is your favorite pooping spot?
Preferably the bathroom, you know.
Is there a specific one?
Ooh. No.
School versus home, what's better?
Oh, 100%. Who's going to... Home, obviously. Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes we used to have a great one in our old radio station. Like a great area. Like elite.
Quiet, everything.
Yeah. Sad. Oh, we got a couple of interns in there tonight. We got Ryan Bell. We got Kevin Pumfret. You know about him? He's got a lot of aura.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. He sat in the chair and just went off. Be back there fooling around all night long, and then we put him in the chair, and he's just...
Big personality.
Boxers or briefs?
Ooh, boxers all day.
Okay. Okay, can't read that. What else, Joey? Well, oh yeah. You have a take on AVP.
I don't think he's responsible for Drake May's development at all. I mean, if you look at just how many plays is he running out of system, Joe? Like, if you had to say percentage-wise, 70% of his plays are probably out of system.
I think overall the Patriots have done a pretty good job getting Drake May up to speed. So I'll give it better than I'll give it like a C plus B minus. How's that?
They're passing, but flying colors, no.
Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, somewhere between a C plus B minus, no matter what day you look at it. How do the four? I want W's now. Like, you know who the kid is. You know he can make plays now. They're still afraid for him to throw the ball in the red zone. That drives me crazy. But, like, you got 4 games to go with nothing to lose. Let it go, baby.
Yeah, and you want to put him in these spots, especially now when nothing matters. I think it's very important to put him in these big situations, like red zone throws, 2-minute drills, game on the line. Like, give him something, even though the stakes might not be high. Like, hey, we're the 3rd pick. But, I mean, get him in these moments now, so this way when you're a winning team and you need to make playoffs or you're on the cusp of playoffs, you know that he can step up in those moments and put you over.
All right. Aiden is in a Acushnet on the college football playoff. Hello, Aiden.
Hey, how's it going? What's up, Joey?
How we doing, Aiden?
We're doing good. Proud of you, brother. Attaboy. Way to be on air. Just want to ask, who's making it out of the college football playoffs? Who's the two that's going to be in the championship, and who's making it out?
Thanks, Aiden. Who you got?
All right. So I think one of the interesting matchups, Notre Dame and Indiana. Now, people are going to say Notre Dame should win this one easily, but I'm a big fan of Curtis Rourke, that QB from Ohio, former MAC quarterback.
Yep.
I think Indiana could very well upset Notre Dame.
Who's a better quarterback right now, Riley Leonard or Rourke?
Curtis Rourke, hands down.
Whoa!
Hands down.
We got to remember that one, guys.
Hands down. Riley Leonard, I mean, he's done good. I'll give him that, but I just don't think he's as good as Curtis Rourke.
Hot take?
I didn't think it was, but
I have an article, College Football Playoff Odds. So Oregon's the favorite, followed by Georgia. Arizona State, man. Did you see that running back? Scatterboo?
He's good. I like him a lot.
I like him a lot, too. So the first round has Texas versus Clemson. I'm sorry, but Texas is going to whoop that ass.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you the betting line on that, too, if you want.
Texas has a really good defense.
11-point favorites.
It's just Sark's play calling, man. I can't trust it.
SMU, Penn State. I want to say Penn State, but James Franklin hasn't won a damn big game in his life. Plus, I don't know, SMU runs that fast up-tempo. Like, what if they get out to a lead? Can Penn State come back from it? I feel like Penn State's backup's been better. Number 9.
Really? I don't know. Drew Aller's been good.
No, actually,
good and bad.
Drew Aller, I think, is going to be good at the next level because he's a pro. He plays in a pro system, you know. Indiana, Notre Dame is the one you mentioned. Tennessee, Ohio State. Does Ohio State care enough? Because here's the deal: if Ohio State beats Tennessee, they get a rematch with Oregon.
Yeah, I don't.
Remember, Will Howard ran out of timeouts.
Yeah, that's the big thing is I don't know if I trust Will Howard. Like, I mean, has he shown enough? I mean, look at the end of that Michigan game. The offense absolutely fell apart. You have James Franklin, Ebuka. They have tons of weapons, and they just can't seem to get them the ball when the game is on the line or matters.
Do you think Ashton Genty, if they do take on Penn State, can run against that defense?
The thing is I think a defense like Penn State, they can stack the box and just play man coverage, and they'll be able to get away with it. I don't think Boise State really has anybody else on the offensive end.
Madsen hasn't been great. But to me, like, if Georgia somehow gets Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame could knock them off. I do. Indiana, though, I hope Notre Dame doesn't sleep. I really do. But I think Georgia's got the... If Penn State can win, they got the easiest road.
Yeah.
They beat SMU. So. They beat Boise. They got Georgia.
Georgia with an injured Carson Beck, maybe?
Yeah, right.
Are you guys Drew Aller guys or no?
Drew Aller, yeah. I think next level he'll be good.
I think he's really good.
But I think their backup is more dynamic for them. They mix him up. Remember he almost scored the touchdown on with the pylon. But Arizona State's, I think, a sleeper. Like, does Texas care? Is Ewers have an ankle injury? Do they go to Arch at some point? Like, there's a lot there. So
you think Georgia's better with the backup?
I don't, but you know what, though?
Carson Beck hasn't been great.
He hasn't been great. And you know what? Maybe leaning on Travis Etienne might be the way to... Is it Travis Etienne or Trevor F? Whatever.
One of the Etiennes.
Etienne.
One of my friends is a Texas fan, and during the game, when the backup got put in, I was like, if they start leaning more on Etienne, it could go Georgia's favor.
Well, I think if Kelvin, the top tackle in the draft, he didn't play.
Yeah, he was hurt. That's big loss.
It was huge. I don't think Clemson can compete with Texas. I don't. SEC versus ACC, right away, out. See ya. Out. I know you have one more take on a Super Bowl contender. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll say goodbye to Joey Medeiros here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Our team.
Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
All right, back here, 98 from the Sports Hub. Just to set you up, I will not be here tomorrow. We have a Bruins game, I believe. And then I'll be back Wednesday night, full show. Thursday, the Celtics are on the West Coast, so we'll go like 6 to 9-ish or something. And then Friday night, 4th and Friday is back, everybody. So it's a big week, and then next week's our last before the holiday. Everyone's giving Joey meds. Joey meds. Nice job, intern. Kevin Pumfret's in there busting balls. The aura still lingers in the studio. All right. What's your Super Bowl pick this year?
All right. So
just remember the clock.
Yeah, don't got a lot of time here. But there is one team that I think has the defense. The offense has come together now that they got this new quarterback. Mr. Unlimited.
You think the
Mr.
Steelers
Russell Wilson and the Steelers.
They got the coach. They got the running game. They have one good receiver who they missed yesterday and still won. Big tight ends, right?
Van Jefferson's solid. He's a solid second guy.
He's like a third, fourth guy, yeah, who stepped up yesterday. Might not be wrong about that.
I think.
Can they get out of their division, though? Can they get about? How does that all work with the Ravens?
Yeah. They play the Chiefs. That'll be a big show.
My pick was the Rams. I picked the Rams and Ravens at the beginning of the year. Can the Rams continue? All right, Joey, before we say bye, it was a pleasure having you. We loved having you. I know you and Skaz liked hanging out. Stay in touch with us. And if you need a job, well,